Allow me to begin by thanking President Dr. Hakan Suer Foundation for their outstanding efforts in organizing this and previous summits. Istanbul is beautiful, and the hospitality of the Turkish people is, as always, exceptional. To our Turkish friends, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Today, we found ourselves at a moment when global challenges are crises to geopolitical turmoil, from climate change to intercultural tensions. In this complex environment, this forum is one of the opportunities to show what it means to engage in dialogue with vision and courage. Naturally, much of our attention is focused on how to bring peace to Ukraine and Gaza. Nations and global leaders speak with one voice and send a clear message condemning war, supporting accountability for the perpetrators, and standing with those who advocate for peaceful solutions. It may sound idealistic, but peace is a real force for good, and we have a collective responsibility to care for one another. I come to this summit pleased to share my own experience with you. Leadership, I know how difficult it was to restore peace to the region when war began in Yugoslavia. In the early 1990s, Yugoslavia was one of the largest, most developed, and most diverse countries in the Balkans. But then, war brought tragic consequences. It is estimated that over 100,000 people were killed in conflict, and 2 million people were forced to flee their homes and fall into poverty. For many in this room, that may be distant history, but I actively participated in the peace negotiations and contributed to ending the war in that part of Europe. That experience strongly convinced me of the necessity of peaceful coexistence among nations and of the power and importance of peaceful solutions, regardless of how deep the conflict between warring parties may be. The role of the international community was important then, and it remains important today. Therefore, I call on the European Union to open the doors to cooperation with key partners even more strongly and to actively engage in peace building in Eastern Europe and beyond, while remaining true to its core values. The EU has young, energetic leadership and numerous diplomatic capacities. Thus, honest dialogue and joint initiatives to accelerate negotiations between Ukraine and Russia are of great importance. In this process, Turkey's role as a bridge between continents and a participant in peace mechanisms can be invaluable. Its efforts in establishing humanitarian corridors, facilitating diplomatic contacts, and supporting reconstruction indicate that EU-Turkey partnership can deliver tangible results, accelerating the cessation of hostilities, saving lives, and building trust. Therefore, I believe a common framework for cooperation is extremely important. a framework in which the experiences of all interested states, European, American, and certainly Turkish, can complement each other through cooperation with EU institutions, guided by the idea that a stable and connected Europe deserves strong alliances and a constructive approach to every challenge. In conclusion, this moment calls on us to be more than mere observers of history, to become its creators. The historical lessons from Southeast Europe, as well as the painful wounds of today's conflicts, teach us one truth. Peace is not achieved by peaceful thinking alone, but by courageous decisions, persistence in dialogue, and readiness to step outside the framework of violence. The international community must take the lead in building bridges, not walls, through humanitarian corridors, diplomatic innovation, and concrete action that will stop suffering in Ukraine, Gaza, and wherever people long for a normal life. The kind of life we all deserve in the Let us not allow what makes us human, our differences, to divide us. Because, as history has shown many times, even when everything seems lost, peace is possible, but only if we have the will to build it together. So, let our actions today be the foundation of a more humane world tomorrow. Thank you so much.